Welcome to the PM Show Weekend Edition, PM Show on Sports. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show. You know, the star, the guy who's been on television, motion pictures, stage, radio, football legend, Sultan of safeties, 2 safeties in one game, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thank you so very much, Michael Horn. You look splendid. You look summery here in the dead of winter.
Yes, I decided to dress up nicely for the dead of winter because I lost in our football handicapping. We did not do that well last week.
You know what's interesting is how many teams just laid down for us.
Yeah. You got 7 correct. I got 6, so you're the big winner.
Well, how many did we bet on?
Oh, we handicapped everybody.
Did all of them?
Yeah, we did them all.
It was like 15.
San Francisco disappointed me. Something's going on there.
Well,
Seattle's looking very good.
You picked Frisco. I didn't.
I know. And Seattle's looking very good. I like that Wilson, that quarterback.
They're looking good. But let me ask you. I know my team won a couple of games, but they didn't cover. Is that the deal?
That's correct. That is correct. The points. We have to be careful this week.
New York Giants got hammered by the car parts guy down in Florida.
Jacksonville. Can you believe that? And the Giants were 2.5-point favorites.
No, I know. They're
they lost by a point.
Now, see, this is how cynical I get.
They signed you.
Yeah, I know. But you see how cynical, how cynical I get when I see teams like this that have a lay down. All they got to do is go down to Florida and play some ball and win a game they should win and make gamblers happy and bettors happy, and they go down there and they fall apart. That would make me angry to fire the coach.
Yeah, it would. You would get rid of the coach, huh?
Well, look, I mean, enough already. I mean, you have 5 games left, and you're going to lose. How many are going to lose out of those 5?
You're going to lose only
4, 5, 3,
that's not
4.
good.
You might lose all of them. I'm not going to bet on them. My point was, I'm not betting on them anymore, even when they're favored to win. I mean, who else could they be favored to win? That team that they lost to down there is terrible.
One of the worst teams.
It's not going to get easier for them, so why bet on them?
Well, because when we do the handicapping, they're going to come
I'm not going to bet. I'm just going to say I abstain. I'm pleading the fifth on that.
Well, then you'll take the other team, is what you're saying, no matter what.
Well,
you're not going to bet on them.
Well, not necessarily. Well, maybe, but I'm not going to. If I think in my handicapping that the New York Giants or any other team, but specifically the New York Giants had a chance at winning, the last Sunday was it. And so I said I'm going to take them on the road to beat that lousy team. You know, the guy that owns that team looks like Jerry Colonna.
Jerry Colonna.
Have you seen that guy?
Jerry Colonna is an old-time comedian. Used to be with Bob Hope.
He has a huge mustache and huge orbital eyes, and they're always open. And he always goes, yeah. He always does that all the time.
Like Jerry Colonna used to have those eyeballs
open. Always had that all the time. Anyway, this guy looks exactly.
He's Jerry Colonna.
He's the Sheik, Ali Khan, or is it James Khan?
James Khan.
No, it's not James Khan.
Hey.
But it's like that, Khan, K-A-H-N, and he's in Missouri, I think, and he has a auto parts company that supplements the Detroit in the making of bumpers and all kinds of stuff like that, airbags and all those types of things.
That's the owner of the
Things that are jobbed out by the big car companies are picked up locally by the ancillary companies, and he has one of them, and he made $1 billion, and then he fell for this Chip Rosenblum thing and tried to buy the Rams. That failed, and then they said, okay, well, since you got a lot of money, you want to throw it away, we'll let you buy that ratty team down there, and he did. And he turns right around and screws with Fred Dwyer's bet.
Sorry you lost there. We'll be back on the 1 p.m. show. You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Shep's developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Shep's has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Shep's at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition, PM Show on Sports from CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, once again back to the star of the program, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Yes, thank you so very much. Excuse me, I'm making a note here on on my Ferguson Ram note card. And,
by the way, did they get traded there from St. Louis, the Ferguson Rams? Is that correct?
Yeah, those five jackasses decided to take it upon themselves to make a racist statement during the game last week.
They came out, ran on the field with their hands up in the air.
And I made a joke to a friend of mine. I emailed this photograph to them, and I said, note the five dumb white guys in the background who are completely surprised by all this. They have no idea what they're doing. Guy in the middle, 89, the guy took my number. 89 is jumping up and down off the ground, because he's begging people in mock gesture, please don't shoot me. Well, don't break the law. We might not shoot you. And so anyway, they're now,
this should be out of football. This should not be in any sport. Sports are sports. Politics. This is ridiculous when,
they're turning it into a racist. This is racism at its best, folks. This is when propaganda meets this type of behavior where, I don't care what color the guy is. The guy goes for my gun, I'm shooting him. And the fact that the guy was white officer and a black, victim, that's just the way life goes. Don't break the law. When a guy says, get out of the street, the guy's walking in the street. Get out of the street. I don't want to tell you again. And if I have to drag you out of the street, I'll drag you out of the street. But if you go for my gun, I'm going to warn you once, you go for it again, you attack me, you punch me out, you give me a black eye, and you're trying to get my gun. No, to do what? What are you going to do with the gun? You're going to empty the bullets for me so I don't hurt myself? No, you're going to shoot me. Well, guess what? I'm shooting you. And they shot him, and everything played out for 4 months. In this drama, you got the President of the United States, you got Eric Holder, you've got Jesse Jackson, you've got this other criminal, Al Sharpton. I don't know why he hasn't been incarcerated. Someone send the van to pick this guy up and take him, and put him in a lockbox, because that guy is a criminal.
With his head.
That guy is a criminal. That guy's a criminal.
He is. I think he's lost it. I think he has gone a little crazy here. It's because it incites the feelings of ill will and hate and racism by what they're saying. I mean, let's get beyond this thing now. Do you want the poster boy of the African American community to be this Michael Brown, this thug that stole stuff and then ran up to an officer? I mean, they're making him out to be a hero, and he's a criminal.
Well, Charles Barkley had it right, and so did all these reverends that are coming on. The
Jonathan Gentry, check out Reverend Jonathan Gentry. He has great stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And there's a lot of people out there that can think through this stuff and see how clearly, how easily veiled that the politic of skin color is what I call it, and I've always called it that way, and that's what it is. But it's the politic today that separates blacks from themselves of becoming independent and successful, and telling leadership, black leadership, that we don't need you to go to Washington to get us money. We'll earn our own money, raise our own children, and become good citizens. There's a lot of black people in this country that do that. But the politic of skin color, and preaches to the young demographic of today, like these five jackasses here wearing uniforms. These guys here who honestly, they're probably good kids. I'm going to say they're probably good kids. But, you can't be this uninformed today.
Well, why didn't somebody speak out against this? You had a problem with Ray Rice and all this other stuff that went through in the NFL. Why are they allowing these guys to allow politics to get into it? Because they're black and they want to make a joke and say they got their hands up when we found out the guy didn't have his hands up in the air by the evidence in the courtroom.
He wasn't shot in the back, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. That's not an
the
opinion.
DNA, this guy, Michael Brown's DNA was all inside the vehicle of the police officer. So it's like, someone should have said, look, this is not the time or the place for this kind of a showing. Just like when Eric Holder was making a speech and the protesters were there, he goes, those are really good Americans. And they're shouting you down, you can't even speak. Back in the day, they got those people out of an auditorium and said, please don't disrupt us. The time to do protests is quietly outside. Martin Luther King is rolling over in his grave right now, this stuff. It is beyond whatever his thoughts were of peaceful demonstrations. It's beyond. And we celebrate Martin Luther King Day, but these jerks certainly do not. And I'm talking about the Sharptons of the world. Charles Barkley said, these bleeps who are looting, these aren't real black people. Those are scumbags. Real black people, they're not out there looting. I just watched a great story on CNN where a bunch of folks wouldn't let them burn down an establishment. It was a great story. But unfortunately, the way the media portrays a lot of black people, we only put the negative black people on television. We don't put the good, hard-working black people. That's what I said, and that's what I meant. There's a perception amongst some black people that if you're not a thug or a hood rat, you don't wear your pants down by your bleep, you're not black enough. And they're always holding us back, plain and simple. And I ain't shutting up and I ain't backing down. That's Charles Barkley.
Well, good for him that he has to say it. And I'm not, raising the flag because Charles is black. But that he did say it, and he said it from a position of common sense and reason. The things he has said have been said by white people as well, and black people, and all kinds of good people, decent people that live in this country. We got the greatest people in the world here, and I can't imagine that when you look at the streets of Ferguson. And you see what these people, who I believe were bussed in from Chicago.
I think they were bussed in.
I think they were bussed in from Chicago. And these criminals should be shot on the spot. It was always my belief, and, we have, we're experts here in L.A. for riots. We've had the Watts riots. We've had the Rodney King riots. We've had a lot of riots in this town. And, if you take the page out of the Korean, the book, what they did in the Watts riots, in the Rodney King riots, they defended their property with shotguns, and they fired those shotguns.
The Korean community did, yeah.
Yes, they did. A lot of people did. It was not made a big deal out of. But today it would be, certainly, because of the Second Amendment issues that we have. But when you look on TV, I fell off my chair. My cigar chair.
Yeah, you like to sit
my
there.
favorite cigar chair?
Yeah, I did one, yeah.
I was watching this. And I looked at this. I don't know. I think it was a Fox showed a live remote from local news in Ferguson, and some guy was standing up there saying, "Well, they're bracing now. The National Guard is coming in, and they're bracing, and this street here, as you can see here, Jim, can we get a shot of this street down here? This street is going to be full of people here very soon, and as the camera swings back, behind him is a bunch of guys breaking into a liquor store." They're looting on camera behind the guy, and nobody's doing anything. Off to the right frame of the screen, you see a couple of National Guard guys standing at attention. And I'm saying to myself,
they're stealing from the
shoot them. But you know something? Here's the reality of that impulse.
Yeah.
If I owned the building, I'd be inside sitting on my cigar chair with my shotgun, and the minute the first guy sticks his head in and crashes a brick through my window and comes into my building, he's going to be blown out onto the street. And that's what should happen in America. That's what property means. That's what protecting yourself means. And these people here are swarming all over every building down there. And so I call for a truce. I call for the police. I call for Fox News, everybody to say, you know what? Enough already. Stop fanning the flames. And the people out there like Jesse Jackson and Miles Sharpton, they've got to be put in jail. These guys are criminals themselves.
Straight Ed, we continue. Email Fred Dreyer, info@crntalk.com.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Are you thinking about your Medicare benefits right now? You know, Original Medicare may not cover all of your needs, and the deadline to choose your plan is rapidly approaching. Plus, whatever Medicare plan you choose is locked in for a full year, so the wrong choice could cost you thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket costs. At Health Markets, we can help you find a plan to minimize those costs with one free phone call. You could spend hours doing all the research yourself, or our licensed agents can do it for you for free. Call Health Markets now for free help.
800-749-7781. 800-749-7781. 800-749-7781. 800-749-7781. Health Markets Insurance Agency is a DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, licensed in all 50 states and D.C. Service and product availability varies by state. Agents may be compensated based on your enrollment.
I'm Aileen Ellis. It's time for open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act's health insurance marketplace.
From November 15th through February 15th, individuals will be able to apply for new health coverage, or if they purchased health coverage last year for the year 2014, they'd be able to select a new coverage or continue with the coverage they already selected.
AARP's Nicole Duritz.
Some insurance companies that offered coverage for the year 2014 might be exiting the market, and other insurance companies that didn't have products in 2014 are entering the marketplace. So folks need to take the time to explore the coverage they have and to evaluate other coverage options.
To check it out and sign up for health coverage, go to healthcare.gov. Another place to find out more is healthlawanswers.org. Type in your state and you'll get its contact info for the health insurance marketplace. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
PM Show, nationwide, coast to coast. PM Show, weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn, star of our show, the Sultan of Safeties. 2 safeties in one game, the NFL legend, the Hollywood superstar from Hunter, from Crisis here just this last season. I think this, whatever the show was on, might be coming out soon that you were on. And we're talking about the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thank you so much. Before we get started here, we get cards and letters.
Yes.
And we get nice phone calls and emails and texts and Facebooks and Twitters.
Because we talk
and
about stuff that no one else talks about. Nobody's talking about this Rams thing on any sports talk show. They're just avoiding it like the plague.
Yes.
But you talk about it. That's what I like about you.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you riding along with me. And, I think the best thing to do in life is to talk about things openly. Try to be as fair as you can. Get the amount of information you can within the time frame that we've got here. We don't have a lot. We have an hour. But what I wanted to do before we go ahead is, there's a couple of people here that contacted me, emailed me, and I want to acknowledge them and let them know that I great to hear from them. One is Lynette Blackney, Blakney, and I've known her for a long 35, 40 years almost. She used to go with a friend of mine, Taft Abras. She called me, and I called her back today. And she wanted to know what Taft's phone number was because it was his birthday coming up.
Oh.
So I called her back to let her know that Taft passed away.
Oh, boy.
And so we had a nice chat, a nice visit. And she was very kind and said a lot of nice things. And she sounded great. And so I want to have a big shout-out and a good Merry Christmas to Lynette Blackney and her family for sticking in there for all these years.
Was Taft a fellow athlete?
Taft was a center for San Diego State when I played there, and then he was a great pal. He was a school teacher, and he accompanied me on many of my my travails. He was a sidekick,
He was a sidekick.
I was a sidekick to him, too.
You were, and you did a lot of stuff?
And now the other one is, thanks to Lynette, thanks so much for calling, dear. And also, I want to say thank you so much to Ellen Hickel, who is the daughter-in-law, I believe, of Ray Hickel, my teammate with the New York Giants my rookie year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, Ray and I. And
what did you guys do? Did you get into trouble because you were like,
yeah, of course. We're 23 living in New York City, and we had a shared apartment on 64th Street, and we were all over the place.
See, Robert Conrad was from Chicago, the Duke of 63rd Street. You were on 64th Street, and that's 64th. Pretty good.
64th and 3rd Avenue. But Ray had a son, Matthew Hickel, and he married a girl named Ellen. So Ellen has contacted me, and I told her that I would say hi. I've got a phone number here. I'll probably get a hold of Ray here one of these days. But Ray, I hope you're doing well. You're well and healthy and happy, and thanks for having Matthew and having him marry Ellen and having her call me. So a big thank you to all of them and a very Merry Christmas to you. Now,
one other thing. When you played in San Diego, and we've talked about this before, but you had some incredible head coaches there. You had, as I recall, Don Coryell, right, was coaching there, and wasn't John Madden one of the coaches as well?
Yeah, of course.
John was, what was he coaching?
The defensive coach.
He was defensive. Who else did you have?
Had Ernie Zampese.
Oh, it was Ernie. I remember. What was he coaching?
He was a defensive backfield coach, but Ernie wound up being one of the top offensive coordinators in professional football for a long period of time. He was with Dallas, was with New England. He was with a lot of teams, and he was in St. Louis with Coach Coryell. But Ernie retired now, living in San Diego. But he was one of the all-timers. And then, of course, Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs, yeah. He was the offensive line coach for us there. Then he left to go to Alabama at that time. And then he went on to a greater calling by being, head coach, assistant coach, head coach, and with the Washington Redskins, won 3 Super Bowls,
3 Super Bowls?
Yeah, sure.
And they were the Redskins, and nobody cared at that time.
Nobody cared at that time, and they loved them. And, remember, everything is relative. It's proportional to the culture you live in. And if you've got this type of stuff in Ferguson going on, you certainly can understand why you would have that type of stuff about anti-Redskin stuff and coming out and making statements to people, telling people, Dan Snyder and all these people, that they're racist because of the name. And there's like 15 people, if that don't want them to have the name Redskins. But guess what? They're going to have it. Until Dan Snyder says, I'm tired of this, I'm going to sell it. And I'll guarantee you that the individual that requests an audience with the league to buy the Redskins is going to be forced to change the name. Yeah. That's how they're going to do it.
All right, we'll tell you what. And Don Coryell was your head coach, right?
Yes, he was.
And then he was with the San Diego Chargers.
And then the Cardinals and the Chargers.
And the Cardinals, you're right. All right, we continue straight
ahead. You got that written down?
PM Show, Weekend Edition, on Sports, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now, 1-800-731-4185. That's 800-731-4185. 800-731-4185.
Right now, you're thinking about the car in front of you that left its blinker on. Blink, 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 blink for the last 5 miles. Well, snap out of it, because what you should be thinking about is switching to Geico and saving hundreds of dollars on car insurance. You can access Geico online, over the phone, or even on the mobile app, and it's so easy you can do it in the blink of an eye. See what I did there?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Nothing says I love you, I'm thinking about you, or I miss you, like a beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers from ProFlowers.com. Flowers are a festive way to dress up a birthday, holiday, or anniversary. Plus, prices start at $19.99 and include a free vase. Every bouquet is guaranteed to last at least 7 days. To send a thoughtful bouquet, go to ProFlowers.com/radio. And to receive this special offer, enter code DAISY. That's ProFlowers.com/radio, code DAISY.
Welcome back to the PM Show, Weekend Edition on Sports. I'm Michael Horn. The on sports part of this deal is with the former New York Giants, LA Rams legend, Sultan of safeties, 2 safeties in 1 game, an outstanding career in the NFL. Never once did he showboat after making an incredible play, even after the 2 safeties in 1 game. Imagine today, that guy would be dancing all over the field if he did 2 safeties in 1 game. And, of course, the acting superstar, the one and only Fred Dryer.
You know, I threatened to light my hair on fire if I were to score a 3rd safety.
Is that what you threatened?
I'm so happy I didn't.
I'm glad you did not.
Because I used to carry around a lighter fluid and a match with
just in case you did it
during the game. You
know? Yeah.
I'm looking here at the Philadelphia 76ers. They're off to the worst start in NBA history.
Have they won a game yet?
0-17, and they're going for 0-18 tonight.
So they have a chance to go ahead and lose 18. And the Lakers, on the other hand, have a big 2-game winning streak going now. They have won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
They've got 5 wins on the season. And I think now, watch out, NBA.
Yeah,
the Lakers are starting. I think didn't Kobe have like a triple doubles or something like that?
No, he had 10 turnovers.
Double triples, or he had a triple.
He had 12 points and he had 10
bypass,
turnovers.
Something like that.
He had turnovers.
But he had a triple, almost had a triple double.
No, they played inspired. But you look what they beat up. The Detroit Pistons.
Right. It's a good team.
They've won, 2 games or something like that?
And who else did they beat?
And they beat the night before, the night before they beat this other team. I have no idea who.
Can't remember who the other team was.
It all runs together. I have no idea. Tommy, who was it? Who'd the Lakers?
Tomas is a big basketball fan, a big NBAer.
Yeah, right.
And so that was on What we were looking at the December 1st, I believe.
I'm not going to waste too much time on this.
Okay, so I'll look it up for you. I'll have it for you in just a moment because Tomas is looking. Toronto. It was an overtime game. That was an overtime.
At home.
Yeah, 129 to 122. Big victory.
Nicholson didn't show up, so who cares?
It was a big victory. I'm telling you, and the Lakers just crushed Detroit 106 to 96.
Yeah, 10 point. Oh, gee, was it?
It was really
something.
something.
Crashed the boards.
Yeah.
And
the Lakers are actually playing right now, and they are ahead, playing Washington 33-27. We do the show live, I should mention that, on Wednesdays. I shouldn't say that because you're going to listen on the weekend and go, they're not playing today.
Now, listen here. I'm listening to the local radio here, Mason in Ireland, you know.
They're on local radio
Steve
in
Mason
Los Angeles.
And John Ireland. And
I'll take that.
Yeah. And then someone just threw me a check. What's it for? $35,000.
$35,000. What did you do? Did you get a movie part or something?
That's that appearance I made.
That's one of the many appearances you do?
Starbucks.
Really?
That's a Starbucks appearance.
Rolling out the holiday season there with some lattes.
Yeah, I'm going to really buy a lot of people a latte.
Okay, so
one latte for everyone.
You're listening to local.
So I'm listening to local sports talk radio.
These guys, Mason and Ireland,
and they're nice guys, I guess. You know, I mean, I have never met them, but I listen to them because they're confusing at best. But what's fun is to listen to people now continue in the face of more Laker disaster, and of course, the last 2 games they've won, but they're 4-13 or something like that. And so they've won 2 in a row. They've won 4 or 5 games now, and they're not going to win a lot more. They're not going to make the playoffs anyway. And of course, the conversation always comes around to, well, the Lakers are got to be they got to be very careful. They don't win too many games. You know, they've won 4 and they're 5.
I think they're going to win 5.
Okay, they're one. They're make it 6, but they've had a terrible go of it the last couple of years. They've made some real stupid blunders by giving away draft choices and bringing in and old time guys that wind up getting hurt. That wasn't their fault, but that's the way it goes sometimes. They get hurt. But here's the point.
Yes.
I keep saying this. The Lakers are lousy. They were lousy last year. They're lousy this year. And I think they're probably going to be lousy next year, which is Kobe's last year. And we feel bad for Kobe. He's loading up, 50 million logs, and he's going to be out of there. And then then they say the Lakers will be able to now turn this thing around because they'll have a lot of cap space and they'll have nobody under contract, which is what this whole business model was about. They're lousy last year. They're lousy right now because by design, not because of incompetence in the front office, not because of Mitch Kupchak or Genie
or Jim Buss. So you don't think they should get rid of Mitch Kupchak?
Well, of course not. It's asinine. It's like if we all decide, hey, this summer we're going to load up with 1-year contracts with guys who aren't going to make anybody else's franchise. We'll sign them as late as we can because they'll clear all the rosters of all the other teams, and we'll bring guys in here that nobody kind of really wants on their team, and we'll fill the roster up with people that can probably get up and down the court and sweat a lot and make people think that Byron Scott is really getting through to them, and maybe Jack will show up for 10 games this year, but the overview is people keep like Mason in Ireland, and Ireland does the games. I can't believe this. They do the games, and they're entering into this conversation unless they have nothing else to do. They're entering into this conversation that Mitch Kupchak has to go now, and Jimmy Buss has to keep his word to divest his interest in the team back to Genie because they're so bad this year. They're bad this year because they all of them decided that they were going to be bad. They all decided to take on these contracts that they have.
So let me ask you this. They do the same thing on Philadelphia for the Sixers?
Well,
They're
of course.
0-17.
Philadelphia is blatant about it. They just said, we're lousy, and guess what? We're going to lose as many games as we can so we can get the first couple of draft picks next year.
3-15, Detroit?
Yeah, they're lousy too.
Charlotte 4-14.
So they're going to be body checking one another, trying to be the worst team in basketball.
Minnesota 4-12, Utah 5-13.
That's correct.
I'm looking at some of the losing
and the Lakers are 5-13.
5-13, they are. Yeah,
that's right. And so everybody's talking about this Mason. he's delirious half the time. And he tells people that we got to get rid of Mitch Kupchak because this is this is the final straw. They said they were going to be competitive. No, they didn't. They said they were going to be lousy. They said we're going to load up with bad contracts, 1-year contracts, so we could, in time, a couple of 2 to 3 years, by the time Kobe leaves, have the completely wide open for what? A new superstar to come in without being under Kobe's shadow, free and clear, to walk into Staples and say, this is my franchise, this is my team, and you can now start putting people under my wing because now it's the new Lakers for the year 2018.
I'd start watching college basketball and see who they can maybe pick up.
Well, that's the other thing. You go to the beach, for crying out loud. That's what I did.
It's the PM Show, Weekend Edition, PM Show on Sports. I'm Michael Horn. That's Fred Dreyer. Email Fred incoming at crntalk.com.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
It's saving season at Lumber Liquidators. This is the time to get the flooring you want at an incredibly low price. Get over 20 styles, including the look of oak, maple, and cherry, all for under $1. You'll pay as much as $2.49 somewhere else, but we've got 12mm Brazilian cherry laminate for just 99 cents. Plus, save even more with incredible closeout prices on solid, pre-finished hardwood and bamboo. And get 18-month special financing on flooring and installation. 'Tis the season for big savings, so visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Hi folks, Fred Dreyer for Regenix. Like so many people today, I was losing my hair. I was literally watching it fall out, jumping right off the top of my head. So I said, that's it, enough. I called Regenix. When they introduced me to their patented hair analysis program, I immediately saw why I was losing my hair. Through their microscopic examination, I saw gray, sickly scalp. The hair follicles themselves were caked and clogged with the dirty, oily sludge. I was so relieved. Finally, there was hope. So now as I approach my 8th year on the Regenix program, my scalp is pink and clean and my hair is growing back. That's right, it's growing back. It makes so much sense. Don't wait. Call Regenix right now. Go to the phone and put an end to your worries. Start by calling 1-800-REGENIX. That's 1-800-REGENIX. Or go to Regenix.com.
PM Show, Weekend Edition, PM Show on Sports. I'm Michael Horn, star of our show. Football legend, Hollywood incredible actor extraordinaire on television, motion picture, stage, now radio, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer. Baseball news for you, Fred.
Right.
The Dodgers have signed Barney Fife to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was that Darius Rucker?
Damon Barney.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Darwin Barney, who was a pretty good guy when they got him from the Cubs.
Yeah,
they signed him to a 1-year deal, but the big deal was
$2.5 million.
Clayton Kershaw was crying his eyeballs out, the Sandy Koufax they call Kershaw. He has to have his own catcher, A.J. Ellis. So Ellis was hitting 101 or something. He was in the 100s.
I think under 2.
Under 2. And they signed him because Kershaw likes him as a catcher. Now AJ he calls a pretty good game, but yet he nor the manager went out in that playoff where the Kershaw just melted down against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
To go out there and grab control of the game. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So have the Dodgers bettered themselves? I don't think so.
I think they're better. I think Kershaw's in a better state of mind. And as the guy said, in the paper today, the general manager said that, look, Zaidi. Is that his name? Forgive me. Zaidi. Zaidi? That's it. Yeah. I'm not normally good on Eastern names or.
He's the new Dodgers general manager.
Yeah, but he's the general manager, but I'm not very good at it. But I guessed this one, so there it is.
That's good.
Zaidi says, look, it's worth it if it makes Kershaw better. He's a good catcher, and guess what? When he catches Ellis. when he catches, the Dodgers have a better win-loss record.
Because I think he calls a good game. I do think Ellis is good at calling. And that's what people don't realize when you go in the catcher's position. It's not just hitting. It's how you can throw the guy out at second base. But more importantly, it's control of the game, calling the game, seeing what's going on. The great teams always have strength up the middle. That means the catcher, the pitcher, second baseman, shortstop, and center fielder. Look for the great teams. Always strong up the middle.
Yeah, that's correct. And by the way, they've got this. They have this new fellow they got from the Cincinnati Redlegs today. And
who's that
from
guy?
From what I gather, he's a center fielder. What's his name?
Oh yeah, they got him yesterday or something. I forget.
What's his name?
I can't remember. I don't have the information here in front of me.
I had it right here. Where was it?
Yeah.
Hold on just a second.
Please, if you could get that.
Chris Heisey. Heisey. Chris Heisey, center fielder, acquired from the Reds today. Exchanged.
Yeah, but the Dodgers don't need another fielder. They still got too many fielders.
Yes, they do.
They got Kemp. They got Crawford. They got.
Don't you see? Don't you see what's going on?
And they've got Scott Van Slyke. They got him. They got that the other guy. The kid.
Okay. All right.
But why do they need another?
Let me turn the page then. New subject.
They don't need any more fielders.
Yes, they do.
I think I'm disagreeing with you.
Here's the reason why.
They need a shortstop.
Dear, here's the reason why.
They need an everyday
of course
catcher.
They need that. Just because they
Don't
bring
get
in
angry with
just
me.
because they,
Now
this is
angry.
insanity.
I didn't mean to get your
just because they bring
down.
in a center fielder doesn't mean they're not going to get a shortstop.
Take a sip of this. Take a sip of this.
Amazing. You have anything to smoke? You have anything?
There, you feel better. Boy, you're as crazed now as you were when you smoked cigars all over my house at my birthday party.
Hey, let me tell you something.
I
was the only guy over there.
I had ashes in my bedroom.
Did you see
floor.
how comfortable I was?
Yeah, you acted like you owned the house. You lit up a cigar and you walked from room to room.
Did you
Poor
see?
Tomas had ashes on his car. Were you like,
I did.
You were throwing ashes? You're like
it was Ash Wednesday.
A dog marking his territory. You just throw ashes in the corner.
I do it everywhere. I just say, get out of the way.
And what's with this mustache you got in this? I noticed you're doing the stash. You and
yeah. I'm getting ready for camp.
You and Dr. Sheps look like he was growing some kind of facial hair,
Dr.
too.
Sheps, I told him not to do that.
You said no. The sponsor of our show,
I said, yes,
Dr. Sheps is great. I had a bad back, and they just
I saw Dr.
laser.
Sheps today.
I saw
you there too.
Yeah, they
was
were
that
throwing.
You I saw?
They were throwing the laser on my lower back.
You limped in and you limped out.
I limped out, but no, I did not limp out because he was able to put the laser on there from all the Christmas lights I put up. I must have twisted something, and so the laser sort of twisted it right back into shape.
How about that laser though?
It is great.
Isn't that amazing?
The laser's good.
You people out there, if you got bumps and bruises and wounds and things that keep nagging you, go see Dr. Sheps, man. I'm telling you, this guy is the best. I've been seeing him now for a couple of years, and could you imagine that? It's been almost a couple of years now. It's been a year and a half. So this spring, it'll be a couple of years since he and I hooked up, and we're doing God's work, getting everybody healed. And I got to tell you something. I have a bounce in my step. The holiday season, ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy because everybody leaves Los Angeles, and I've got the whole place to myself.
Yeah, you stay there. You don't want to travel. That's good. Are you ready to handicap? Because we have not much time left.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Okay.
Let's start with the Thursday game. We do the show live on Wednesdays at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. So we'll handicap them all for you. If you're listening on the weekend, please bear with us. We were wrong. Dallas is playing at Chicago. Dallas favored by 3.5.
Now, here's a question I have to ask. You know, the last time the Dallas game popped up, which was Philadelphia, and I took Dallas.
And we took Dallas, and boy,
And you know what I found out the day of the game by the announcers? They said, well, the two tackles are out.
Oh,
Did you hear that?
Well, Chicago's been pretty stinky.
Stuff, there's a big asterisk next to this stuff, and I'll put my I'll stand behind my handicapping, but I'd sure like to know who's hurt and who's playing and who isn't.
Well, I don't have that list here.
Oh, you don't?
I don't have a list of the people hurt here.
I'm just going to roll the dice in. I'm going to figure it's cold. It's in Chicago. It's 3.5. Chicago can't beat Detroit, so I'm going to go with Dallas on the road.
You're going to go with Dallas on the road?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing. Dallas, and that means they have to win now by 3.5 points. Noise? That means it's a break and we're coming to the final segment, so we're really going to have to move on our handicapping.
Really exhausting.
I'll give one more before the break. How about Pittsburgh on the road playing at Cincinnati? Cincinnati is favored by 3.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm taking Pittsburgh, and here's the reason why. Cincinnati is as wispy and they don't show up half the time.
I'm taking Pittsburgh as well in this game.
Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry for you Cincinnati fans out there. How about the Giants playing at Tennessee?
Who?
It's a pick-em game. The Giants in Tennessee.
I'm taking Tennessee.
I'm taking the Giants, so we'll disagree there. Straight ahead, we continue on CRN.
I'm Aileen Ellis. I hate those video games teenagers love, but I'm convinced that my son's reflexes are quicker because he's hyper alert in video races running in James Bond fashion. Studies show that playing some computer games can help you stay sharp as you get older, so I'm playing away on AARP.org. I like Pyramid Solitaire. You match cards that add up to 13. It gets you ready for something much more challenging, Entangled. You spot hidden objects made of what looks like twisted wire wrapped around other wire objects. Fish swim in trees, flowers bloom inside animals. My favorite game is The Right Word. It's expanding my vocabulary, and that's good for a writer like me. It reminds me of the SAT, and that makes me really glad I've graduated already. For lots of free gaming fun, check out AARP.org. You might start staying up really late, but hey, isn't that like the teenager you used to be? That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse, much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The showroom at South Point presents a very special Christmas show for the entire family. The Tony Orlando Christmas Show. A story of how Santa has to convince Tony Orlando that Santa Claus is real.
Tony, it's me, Santa.
December 19th through the 21st. Tickets at the box office. Online at SouthPointCasino.com or charged by phone. 702-797-8055. Tony Orlando's Christmas Show at the South Point.
Everything looks right.
PM Show, Weekend Edition. PM Show on sports. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the one and only Sultan of Safety's acting legend, Mr. Fred Dreyer. And we're handicapping the games for you.
Welcome.
Brings us here
welcome back to the show.
St. Louis on the road playing Washington. St. Louis is favored by 2.5 points.
And are those 5 jackasses playing?
Yeah, what are you going to do on that, St. Louis?
Yeah, they're playing where?
In Washington. Washington's lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, they're going to lose 5.
Rams lost didn't they lose to San Diego here recently?
They beat the Raiders 52-0.
Yeah, that's right. They came off that. So Rams are favored by 2.5 on the road. What do you think?
I'll take the Rams.
I'm going to take the Rams as well.
Yeah,
okay, now we got Indianapolis on the road at Cleveland. Indy favored by 3.5 points.
Indy at Cleveland.
Yep.
Indianapolis.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
You think they'll beat Cleveland by 3.5?
Yeah, I do. I think they're having Cleveland's having a little bit of trouble with their quarterback position, but I think that from the standpoint of the way Luck is playing, I think he'll win.
I'm going Indy. Tampa Bay on the road playing Detroit. Detroit favored by 10
at home.
Yeah, Detroit is at home, 10-point favorites. That's something. What do you think?
Well, Vegas likes them, so I'm going with them.
You're going to go with Detroit over that?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is not too good. It's 10 points, though, you think?
I know.
What do you think?
But that's all right.
All right.
I'm going.
You going Detroit?
Yeah, I'm going Detroit.
Okay, I'll go Detroit on that as well. I like Detroit. I'm glad they're winning.
Yeah.
Houston playing Jacksonville. Houston favored by 5. Now Jacksonville beat the Giants last week.
Yeah, but that's no that's no bellwether.
It's on the road at Jacksonville.
Yeah, Texas is going to that kid, that J.J. Watt, will get 15 sacks.
Okay, so you going to Houston?
Yeah, I'm going to Houston.
You going to Houston? 5 points. I'll go Houston on that as well. Baltimore, Miami. Baltimore is on the road. Miami at home. Miami 2.5-point favorites.
I'm taking Miami.
You are? I'm going to go Baltimore in that game. You got Miami?
Yeah.
All right, New York Jets, they are on the road playing Minnesota. Minnesota favored by 5.5.
New York Jets at Minnesota?
At Minnesota. Minnesota favored by 5.5.
Minnesota. I don't know if I.
Yeah,
I do, because I think their quarterback's better than that other guy.
Going to go Minnesota?
Yeah.
Minnesota? I'll go Minnesota on that game.
I'm going Minnesota.
Carolina playing New Orleans. New Orleans favored by 10 points.
And
is being played at New Orleans.
Yeah, I like them. 10
points?
Yeah, I do, because
you're going to take those points?
Yeah, I'm going to take them. I tell you why. New Orleans is better than they've been playing. They're at home. They have to start playing better. I think they're healthy. The other group and the other kid, they're very they're floundering.
I don't like those points. I'm going Carolina on that. All right, Kansas City, Arizona. It's a pick'em game. KC, Arizona. Who's going to win?
KC at Arizona?
Yeah, at Arizona. Pick'em game. I think I'm going to
Arizona.
I'm doing the same thing. We got Buffalo playing at Denver. Now, Denver favored by 10. 10 over
Buffalo at Denver.
Buffalo at Denver. Denver favored by 10.
I like that.
You like it? You going Denver?
Yeah.
I'll pick Denver. I'll go for it. San Francisco on the road at Oakland. San Francisco only an 8-point favorite over the Oakland Raiders.
It's across the street.
I know. What do you think?
Yeah, so it's not a big deal. And what's the spread?
8.
Yeah, I take them.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
They got to do something. I'll take them too. Seattle playing at Philadelphia. Philadelphia a 1-point favorite over Seattle.
Oh, that's a toss-up.
That's a tough game. I'm taking Seattle. What do you want to do?
I'm going to go with Seattle too. I think they're
okay.
Well, you know what? I'm going with Philly.
You are going?
Yeah,
Philly?
I'm going to go with Philadelphia.
Okay, New England. This is the Sunday night game. New England on the road, 3.5-point favorites over San Diego.
New England over San Diego.
Yeah, played in San Diego. Yeah. What do you think?
Wow. I'm going to go with New England.
I'm going to go New England on that as well. And finally, Atlanta on Monday night against Green Bay. Atlanta, Green Bay.
What do you like? Green Bay?
Yeah, Atlanta at Green Bay. Green Bay, 13-point favorites.
Green Bay will beat these people.
By 13 points?
By 13 points.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
All right. I don't like Atlanta, so I'm going to go Green Bay as well. I'll never go against them again.
Too cold for them to...
That's our show. Thanks for joining us. You missed anything, go to our website, crntalk.com. Final words from you, Fred Dreyer?
It's too cold up there in Green Bay to win anything.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry